Hi, I'm Linda, and this is No Frills ASMR. There was an episode of Joe Rogan's podcast, and Bernie Sanders was on, and he mentioned that at one time, and I don't know that he actually said it, but I think he was talking about during Franklin Delano Roosevelt's term in office, that the tax rate for millionaires was, I think Bernie said 99%, but it was 94%. And Joe, before he finished his thought, I think, Joe said, well, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. And Bernie said, that is extreme. Well, first of all, let's back up real quick. The reason Franklin Roosevelt, that was in the 1930s and 40s, and it was during wartime, it was actually during World War II, that the very top income tax bracket was 94%. And that was on people who made, I think it was over $1 million, which back then would be like $1 billion. And it was to keep there from being extreme wealth growth, basically people kind of taking advantage during the war, and to make sure the government, was funded during wartime. Okay, so that's just an aside. But the part that bothered me a little bit was that Joe Rogan was under the impression that what Bernie was saying is that if you make over $1 billion, you'll have a 99% tax bracket, which Joe was obviously very personally offended by. And first of all, I don't think Bernie was saying that. But second of all, it made me wonder if Joe understands how the tax bracket works. So I thought we should explain that a little bit, because he's not the only one. I think a lot of people don't really know. So in the U.S., we have progressive tax system, which means that we have brackets, and they kind of go up the more money you make. So I'm just going to do an imaginary tax bracket system, because I already have my poker chips out. We can just show it like that. So let's assume that we have an income. This is all just pretend, okay? Of $50,000. Try to make it nice, even numbers. Now, each of my chips that I'm going to show you, let's make them have a value of 1,000. So I'll end up with 50 chips. Good grief, that's a lot. Okay. And then we'll make our tax brackets. The lowest tax bracket will be up to, if you earn up to $10,000, then you'll pay a 10% tax. So there's our first tax bracket. Our next tax bracket will be if you earn $10,001 to $40,000, then you will be in the 20% tax bracket. Okay, and then if you earn 40,001, and we'll just say and up, we'll just pretend like we only have 3 brackets because it doesn't really matter to us, then you will be at the 30% tax bracket. Okay, so there we have, I don't know if you can hear, there's some car with either an intentionally bad muffler or just a bad muffler, I don't know. All right, so we will need 50 of our chips, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, All right, so here's the first $10,000 they earned. 11, 12, 13. That brings them to 10. Hold on, my brain's stuck. This is 10,000. 11, 12, 13. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 34, 35. I just realized you can't see. Let me move this. I should have backed. Hold on, I got back my camera up just a little bit here. Okay. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. So 30, 40, and then the last 10. Uh-oh, do I have enough red chips? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're going to have to use a whitey in here. 10. Okay. All right, so here is, I'll just move my thing, the 50,000 in income. Now, on the first 10,000, you have to pay 10% tax. And that is whether you earn 10,000 or you earn 50,000. On the first 10,000, you pay the 10% tax bracket. Okay? So, if you earn more, that's still how much you're paying on the first 10,000, the same as everybody else. So, whether you only earn 9,000 or $1 billion, on the first 10, you're going to pay 10%. On the second, amount, but 10 to up to 40,000, and this guy's making 50, so he has a full range in here. He is going to pay 20%. So on 30, 20% would be 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 will be taxed at 20%. 2, 4, 6. So on that amount, he taxed 10% here. He's taxed 20% here, or she, or they. Okay, and then on the last 10,000, because this person earns 50, they are charged a 30% tax rate, which in our thing here is the highest tax rate. So 30% of 10 would be 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. All right. So I'm hoping this is making it a little bit clearer. So like in the example that Bernie was giving, it's not like Joe's entire income would be taxed at a very high tax rate. It would just be the income that, above $1 billion. So his first part would be taxed the same as you and me. The second part, same as you and me. The third part, same as you, and then as it gets higher and becomes ultra wealth, it gets taxed at a higher rate. But don't worry, they'll be okay. People worry a lot about billionaires. But believe me, once you have that kind of money, that money earns money so much for you in interest, in stocks, in real estate, in hidden accounts, offshore. They know how to hide that money. And they take loans This is me going on a rant, but it's true. They take out loans because they have so much income. They can get all the loans they want, and then they can write that off to not pay taxes. They do all kinds of stuff. Don't worry about them. But anyway, I just want you to know it is okay to get that raise. Don't worry that it's going to throw you into the next tax bracket, because you're still only going to be taxed at the tax brackets that you're only the income. So if you're making like 40 and somebody says, hey, I'm giving you a raise for 2,000, so that bumps you into this tax bracket, that's okay. It's not, you don't pay the 30%, because some people figure and go, wait, I'm going to lose money. But no, you're only getting taxed on the 2,000. Like if you get from 40 to 42, only the 2,000 will be at that tax bracket. Now, whether it'll, I don't know, affect you in other ways, I don't know. But as far as tax brackets go, that's how that works. And that is called the progressive tax system. Yeah. So let's figure it out. So on our 50,000 here, we ended up paying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We paid 10 altogether. We paid 10 in tax. So if we had been taxed at 30%, we'd have paid 15,000 if we had been taxed at this. So, yeah. Anyway, I think that's all I wanted to say. I was just thinking about it because it felt to me that Joe Rogan didn't understand that. So, all right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Whoops. So if anybody knows him, share this video with him. Just kidding. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I never did count them all up to make sure I had